So welcome to today's Yoga for Presence or Practice for Presence. I've been thinking about this idea of presence, not with a T, but with a CE. And I was looking up the definition because there are so many definitions of presence and none of them really captures entirely what I feel presence is. Like this idea of, there's a little bit of this idea of present moment or being here now, but there's also a little bit, and this was in the dictionary too, of this idea of like projecting a sense of ease and poise, right? That can also be a way to be present. And so today's practice I've designed specifically to challenge you a little bit for the sake of hopefully like bringing you a little bit into the here and now. But then the other challenge is creating or finding or cultivating within you a little bit of that sense of poise and ease, even in something that might be wobbly or difficult or different, right? So it's not to scare you at all. It's just to say like, hey, let's have fun. And poise and ease does not have to be serious, right? Because poise and ease, you know, maybe you think of someone when you think of the word poise or ease, but ease can still be like doing something challenging and having a good time with it. So that's the invitation for this morning. So let's begin with a little relaxed breathing exercise. And in terms of props, I recommend if you have blocks at home, grab those. And if not, either set up next to a couch or a chair, just so you have something to grab onto a little bit later. I do always love having a blanket, mostly for my knees and to sit on. So start in any position that you like and look around. Enjoy your space. And every time I'm in this space, I notice something different. And to me, that's part of practicing presence, is being able to be in a state of sort of relaxed awareness that I can pick up on things that are different, even in a space that is familiar and maybe hasn't changed much. And so you might notice, like I see a scratch on the wall or something growing new on a plant in a room. What do you notice in your space? Maybe it's the way the light comes in or something that catches your eye out a window. And then feel free to keep your eyes open for as long as you'd like. Or let them get soft and close on their own. And turn your attention rather, inside. This body, this home, this room that you live in, that carries you into your life every day. What things do you notice inside? And it's easy to go to the places maybe where we feel some tenderness or tightness or discomfort. And that's totally normal. Can you find some other places or feelings as well? And if it's interesting to you, tune into your breath rhythm. Let it be sweet and natural. But listen. Your breath is part of your presence, part of your being. And even though it's always there, sometimes it feels different. Maybe you notice something new today. Just like the new leaf on my plant here, each new breath is an opportunity for that relaxed awareness. And even with areas that maybe feel tight, tender, or discomfort, can you invite or cultivate a sense of ease and poise, a sense of presence in yourself? You might even welcome yourself here. You can say, I welcome myself here. Feel free to linger in this breath awareness for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to move a bit, start to reach the arms out wide. Bring the palms face forward and tip the fingertips back and the hands back any amount, perhaps opening or feeling a sense of stretch, but also expanding your place, your space that you're taking up, your presence. And then round into yourself. You can hug yourself with the arms, one on top of the other, curled up into a cat variation. And then open up again, maybe even arch back slightly, cow variation with the arms reaching back. I have my legs in a wide angle. You can have yours in any position that you'd like, and you can do this standing as well. You might cross the opposite arm on top each time you round into yourself, just to change things up. The next time you're sitting more upright, perhaps tip over to your left. Take your right arm up with you for a side body stretch. And then open back up as you come through your starting position and tip over to the other side. If you like, go back and forth a few times or pause in the side stretch. Enjoy it for a few moments. When you feel complete with that, return to your starting position, arms out wide, and turn your torso to twist to your left. You can bring your hands down to your legs and to the floor behind you. And then open back up like a helicopter, expand wide, twist to the other side. Feel free to go back and forth a few times. Or pause in the twist and enjoy a few moments. Excuse me. When you feel complete, perhaps bring the feet together, the knees wide in butterfly shape. And if you like, take your thumbs and, excuse me, I'm not sure where the frog in my throat came from. But feel free to massage your soles of feet with your thumbs, your fingers, whether or not you have socks on. It's hopefully feels nice. And bring the knees together, extend the legs out long. And then sweep the arms up overhead, reach towards the toes and sweep the hands up the legs. So just a baby forward fold, sweeping motion. Bring the hands back behind you, press into the floor and lift the chest. And then we'll do that again. Sitting tall, reach the arms up high, sweep the legs. You can love them on your way up. Reach back behind you, press up. If you want, upward plank. It's our first little challenge of the day. Reach the hands up, keep going at your own pace. And when you lean back, you can decide lift the hips or not. And you can lift and hold. Press into the hands and feel how a little bit of challenge hopefully brings your attention and your awareness right into the moment, what you're actually doing here and now. That doesn't mean you're not thinking about other things. You're human and we have evolved to be able to do that, right? But notice what happens with a little extra effort or challenge or load. I'm going to do one more of those. And then perhaps enjoy a few moments in a forward fold. Feel free to bend the knees, especially because we're just waking the body up this morning. And make your way to hands and knees. And start to move the body around on the floor here. Maybe it's circles. Maybe it's a different shape. And then step your left foot forward to the front of your space. Grab your blocks if you have them handy, or you can set up right next to the chair if you like for a low lunge to start. And maybe shift the hips back and forth a few times, wiggling in and out of the shape. And if possible, bring the hands up to rest on the thigh. Use your hands to press down, give a little weight. This is the season we call Vata season in Ayurveda, when air and ether are most prevalent. That's the cold, rough, mobile, meaning like it's very windy and just cold. It hasn't even gotten the coldest yet. But weight, especially on the thighs, can help you feel anchored, help you feel grounded. In fact, go ahead and shift your hips back slightly. So you create a little opening and take your left hand just inside your hip crease. So I have my thumb on the inside and my fingers wrapped around the outside of my thigh. Now I'm going to push some weight down using my hand, but then lean forward into my lunge again. So hopefully you feel that sensation, and notice how sensation or trying something different and not so automatic might bring you into the present moment a little bit more. Now you're welcome to stay here, or with your right hand holding onto the block perhaps, curl your back toes under and keep pressing the left thigh down to create that weight on your leg, but lift the knee in the back any amount. So you'll stay low in your lunge with a very weighted front leg. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling some feelings. A little bit of heat starting to build as well. Can you smile? Can you find a sense of ease or poise, even in this different, strange, or just more challenging shape? All right, when you've had enough fun with that, go ahead and lower the knee down. Woo, shift the hips back, bring the blocks with you if they're helpful for a half split. So now your left leg is a little more straight, and if there's room, you can fold towards the thigh. All right, when you're ready, we'll try the other side. Switch legs and bring the right foot forward for a low lunge over here. Feel free to wiggle or shift the hips back and forth a few times. And then find a shape that works for you. If possible, bring the hands up to the top of the thigh. And with a little bit of effort, push down. You can find different spots to push down. It might even feel a little bit like a massage for your thigh. And then perhaps play with that weighted lunge version. Excuse me. Bring the right hand just inside the hip crease. So my thumb's on the inside, fingers wrapped around, press down to create some artificial weight here, and then lean forward again any amount. Option to stay right here, or curl your left toes under and lift the back knee. So it's a runner's lunge with a weighted hand on the front leg. All right, when you've had enough fun, release that. Take the hand out from your thigh and shift back into half split. Excuse me. When you've had enough fun, shift forward again so you can slide the feet next to one another. Feel free to move the blocks out of your way and pause for a moment in tabletop, or if you feel like shifting back towards child's pose, enjoy a few moments there. And bring the hands to the front of your space, curl your toes under and lift your hips, downward facing dog pose. Feel free to move around in the shape, bend one knee, bend the other, press the opposite heel down. And then lift the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Press the hands strong into the earth and imagine you're trying to touch the spot on the wall and ceiling behind you where they meet. Get really, really low. And then bring the toes back down. Try the same thing left side, three-legged dog. Press into the arms, wake up the shoulders, reach the left toes way behind you, and then bring the toes back down. Beautiful. Now right leg lifts again. And if possible, keep the leg lifted, but shift your hips forward, or shift your shoulders forward rather, for plank. But it's a three-legged plank because your right toes are going to come down. If you need to, bring the toes to the floor or lower to one or both knees. But if possible, keep the right foot lifted and hovering. And then press your hips and leg back, three-legged dog. Lower the foot down. Try the same thing to the other side. Left leg lifts. Shift shoulders forward, three-legged plank. Oh, practicing presence, awareness, a sense of fun, perhaps ease and effort together. And then reach back, three-legged dog. Nice. Feel free to take a break, or if you want to try one more time to each side, right leg lifts, three-legged dog, and then three-legged plank. Push strong into the hands. What does it feel like to move your body, to use your body, to feel your body working? And then reach back, three-legged dog. Toes come down. One more time, left side. Three-legged plank. Woo! Sometimes when we do something more than once, it gets easier, even if it's challenging. All right, laughing in plank is really hard to do. Go ahead and bring yourself back to downward facing dog, and then walk the feet forward towards your hands. Standing forward bend. Perhaps grab opposite elbows or sway a little bit from side to side. You can also rest your arms on the side of your couch or your hands on blocks. And then in your own time, perhaps with some help, hands on thighs, rise up tall to stand, pause, enjoy a moment of being upright. If it feels good, you can reach the arms up overhead and bring the hands together at your heart. And bringing hands to the body is another way to practice presence. You might look around your space again, notice something different, something new. All right, take the feet wide, wrap your arms around you. Just be careful of walls and furniture. And then turn this into a hip circle, moving the hips around and around and around. Change directions. And then shrug your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. If you want, take the hands to the shoulders and move the elbows together with your shoulders. And then the final step here would be to extend the arms and move them around in circles. Now, you don't have to do both at the same time. You could do swimmer arms, go in different directions, and they don't have to be big circles. They could be smaller or faster circles. Okay. Shake things out. And then notice your feet on the ground. If you still have your blocks nearby, it's possible you might want them for this next part. If you place one to either side wide of your feet. We're going to play with eagle pose. It's been a while, at least for me. So take a wider stance. Maybe your feet are under your shoulders, and bend the knees and bounce a little bit. That's mostly to relax. Keep the knees bent and shift over to your left foot. Excuse me, still have that frog. Start to, maybe with the hands on the hips, Cross your right leg over the left. And if you have a block there, your toes might find the block. If not, they might play with balance and lift. Squeeze the thighs together and embrace the wobbles that come along with this. So you're welcome to keep your hands on the hips. You can also take the arms wide, or you can try for classic eagle arms. You take the opposite arm on top of the leg that you have. So if you have your right leg over, you're going to bring your left arm on top of your right and either find the shoulders here if that's comfortable, or for some of you, it might be possible to find the other hand in front of the face. Sometimes this is a lot, in which case bring the hands back down to the shoulders. Nice. This is essentially a one-legged squat. So you might be feeling some feelings in the area of one-legged squatness, right? And there's balance at play here, so stay playful with it. And maybe all of this helps bring you an awareness of your own presence. Presence does not mean stillness. It is the space you take up and how you hold yourself in that space. All right, when you're ready, unwind. Woo. Shake out your standing leg. Thank you. Standing leg. And then let's try the other side. Whole new world, whole new leg, hip, knee, ankle, otherwise. So it's going to be a whole different experience. Keep the knees lightly bent. Shift over to your right foot this time, and then try to cross the left thigh over. Feel free to use the block if you like that, or squeeze the thighs together and play with your balance here. Remember, balancing on 2 feet sometimes is hard enough, so be kind to yourself. Enjoy the wobble. Maybe use it as like I'm wobbling into the present moment because I have to pay attention now. Option to add eagle arms, right over left. Or find the hands in front of the face. This is often where, if I was seeing you in person, you might be making a silly face or sticking your tongue out. All right, when you're ready, come on out of that. Shake it out. Now, move the blocks to the front of your space if they're not already there. Orient yourself towards the couch if that's what you're using instead. And we'll play with this a little bit. So instead of wrapping the legs in eagle legs, try using just the arms. So let's start with right arm on top of left, and either hold your shoulders in a hug if that's cozy, or if it's relatively easeful, maybe find the hands in front of the face. So eagle arms. And then stand as tall as you can. If you've been practicing yoga asana for any amount of time, you might be like, never really stood here tall with eagle arms, but no eagle legs. Or maybe you have. So shift the weight over to your left foot and start to kick your right toes back a little bit behind you. From here, tip your chest forward with your arms how you have them and kick the right leg high for flying warrior with eagle arms. Perhaps a different way to get into this shape, or maybe a whole new shape altogether. Notice your sense of balance. And remember, it's a verb. So there's action. There's lots happening. Bend your standing leg just enough so you can step back long on your mat for warrior one legs, and then unwind the arms. Bend the elbows and bring the hands to the back of the head and tip your head back into the hands. Bringing chest towards sky. Nice. And then release the arms out wide. Turn your belly sideways. Let the heel in behind you, warrior two. Beautiful. Straighten your front leg out for triangle and reach the left fingertips forward. Spin the arms into your expression of the pose. And then press into the feet, rise up, bend your front knee again, cartwheel your hands down to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Pause for a moment. All four heads on the ground, hands and feet. And then step to the front of your mat, standing forward bend. And in your own time, rise back up to stand. Beautiful. Let's try the other side. Is that fun? Okay. So eagle arms to start. Let's do left arm over right this time. Option to grab the shoulders, or if on this side, it works to find the hands, grab them. Sometimes things work out one way, but not the other, and that's okay. And then shift your weight over to your right foot, get light on your left toes, taking them behind you. And then start to tip your chest forward and your leg up any amount into flying warrior with eagle arms. Stay playful. Notice your awareness in this moment. And whenever you feel ready to step back into warrior one, open up the arms, bend the elbows, and let the hands come behind the head. Tip the head back into the hands and look up. And then open the arms out wide. Turn your belly to the left, warrior two, or side facing warrior lunge. Straighten your front leg, prepare for triangle, Trikonasana. Reach forward with the right hand and spin the arms. And press into the feet, rise back up, bend the front knee and bring your hands back down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. One last time. And then shift so your left knee comes forward for pigeon pose. Foot kind of flips over to the opposite side of the mat, and either extend your right leg back behind you or bend both knees and pull up yourself down for more of a relaxed pigeon. And feel free to stay upright if your back leg is straight behind you, and enjoy a moment with the stretch for the front side of your right hip flexor area. You might even decide to stay here, especially if your blocks feel supportive. If you decide to fold, go ahead and lean forward, maybe elbows on blocks or hands resting on the face. Feel free to linger a little longer if you are ready to switch sides. Feel free to do so either back through downward dog or simply shift onto your bum and swing your legs around. Take a pigeon shape that works for you on this side, maybe the relaxed pigeon, both knees bent, or the more active variation. Feel free to enjoy a moment more upright, feeling expansive on the front body. And then feel free to spend a few moments or enjoy the folded version. And then slowly make your way out of this shape onto your bum. Extend the legs out in front. And perhaps swish them a few times from side to side. And if you'd like one more forward fold, decide which direction your legs want to be in. You could have them out in front, you could have them wide, or you could have them in butterfly shape. And then fold any amount forward. When you feel complete, return to a seat that's comfortable. And eyes open or closed. Bring your attention inside. Just like you looked around at the beginning of your practice, look around again. What do you notice? What do you feel? And notice not only how you feel inside yourself, but inside your space. So maybe now opening the eyes and feeling your presence in this room and on this earth. I thank you very much for letting me guide you this morning. Feel free to linger here or rest if you have some extra time, maybe even to meditate. And I will see you again very soon. If you're here live, feel free to stay around for a minute or so to say hello. And if you're watching the recording, feel free to leave a comment. And that's another way that we can connect. And I can get your feedback about the class and what feels good. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.